Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mount Olive High School in Flanders, New Jersey, as champion athletes, Apex Wrestling School and the Harrington Companies present our matchup between NJAC American Division opponents as the visiting West Morris Wolfpack take the short trip up to the host Mount Olive Marauders. I'm your host, Donald J. Brower. With me here is James Clarke. James, welcome back to the broadcast. Kind of talk about these two teams. Two teams we've seen in different matchups this year. We got to see West Morris at a quad last week at Randolph. We got to see Mount Olive the next day. We've also seen Mount Olive at Morris Hills. Mount Olive is a very impressive team, but same with West Morris. Just kind of talk about West Morris and what we've seen from them so far this year.
Well, West Morris, despite their record, probably not favoring to where they want it to be. But when you take a look at the teams that they've wrestled, Warren Hills, about to wrestle Mount Olive, Hanover Park, you name it. You know, they've wrestled a lot of really tough teams, and without Borgia today, it's going to hurt a little bit up top, but they're going to scramble around and do some things that are going to give Mount Olive a run for their money, just like they always do. So West Morris is a good team. Be on the lookout for them.
Yeah, we're talking about Coach Marold in his third year, 29-24. The lone win actually this year, they're 1-4 on the year, came in a last-second upset pin against Randolph, which they were trailing by 3, wind up coming back. But a team that's really been on a roll is Mount Olive, and Sean Smythe entering his 24th year, 341 and 146, 4-1 this year. The one loss, Peaburg. I mean, and that was close. So you're talking about a team that's top 20 in the state, and Mount Olive, who should have gone up. So they beat Delsey, who was a high-ranked team by other publications. But, and they also were finished third at the prestigious Brick Memorial. It's going to be a really good matchup here. And like you said, though, a little bit of luster lost with Borgia being out, banged up his knee at the goals where they finished third the other day, and kind of going to rest it out here. He'll be back for Del Barton next week. But still a great matchup between two teams that are a bird's throw away. We're going to head here to the Lehighs. We're going to start at 106 today. We're going to do the national anthem real quick. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage. Donald J. Brower here with you, and James Clarke at Mount Olive High School. We're going to start at 106 as we have the Lehighs.
At 113 pounds for Mount Olive, Anthony Piamonte.
If you'd like to follow us while we're... You'd like to follow us and do us a favor on the social medias, go to on Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, on Twitter at GardenStateHSW, on Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling, and on YouTube. Like and subscribe. Follow us right there. You'll get notified when we have these live streams, the upcoming podcast, which will be released tomorrow, and some other things we do throughout the season. Plus, thank you guys very much for the last week. Our numbers have been the best ever on record. Thank you for following, liking, and subscribing us, and viewing the live streams we do. Thank you again.
At 138 pounds for the Marauders, Colin Smythe.
Do you want to become a local sponsor? Become a sponsor. Sponsor opportunities are available for team pages and live stream comments. We have limited to 23-24 sponsorship left. How do you become a sponsor? Look for the Your Logo Team button on the page or email admin@gardenstatehswrestling.com. Fill it out. It comes directly to me. I'll have it within 24 hours. You'll be contacted. It's not expensive. Why deal with the used car salesman goof when I deliver the proof? GardenStateHSWrestling.com is the premier high school wrestling provider in northern New Jersey. So why deal with the rest when you can work with the best? GardenStateHSWrestling.com. I'd like to also thank our local sponsors who provided the yearly coverage that helped us come out today. New Jersey Total Health, Victor Supreme Pet Foods, Me and Nona's Cucina of Flanders, OMG Burger and Brew, Market Tavern of Flanders, Tucker's Plumbing, Ginza Restaurant, Sushi and Bar, and the 19th Hole.
At 190 pounds for the Marauders.
And the Marketplace of Flanders as well.
Westmore Central.
I knew there was one more. There's 2 marketplaces in the 19th Hole. So thank you for your continued support. You've helped us grow to where we're at in one of our best years for wrestling.
And at heavyweight, for Mount Olive, Jeremiah Medina. For Westmore Central, AJ Cudella.
Gonna go to the coin flip here.
Captains and coaches.
As wrestlers, captains of the wrestler from both teams and coaches head out.
I think that's what he just said, but okay. Thank you for reinforcing that.
Nice, insightful commentary by yours truly.
We'll get that rust off you. I mean, I've been saying that for a couple of years, but we'll figure it out.
Well, you know. We'll find out who wins the coin toss in just a minute. Referee Barry Jackson today.
Mount Olive won the toss and has chosen odd bouts.
Mount Olive has won the toss and has chosen the odd bouts. They will be, if I'm looking at this correctly, they will be red, and obviously because they have red in their uniform, and Wes Morris will be green.
And then we'll see who they send out momentarily from Mount Olive and West Morris. Mount Olive sends out first at 106 pounds.
I think this, we'll get confirmation. I think this is going to be Shane Kostakis, and that's Brody Neal for West Morris.
Should be a really good matchup here. Brody Neal, the freshman from West Morris, had an impressive finish at the John Goals tournament, beating Augie Zamarata from Warren Hills 10-6.
That's interesting because that they met the week before, if you remember, at the quad we covered. We weren't on that quad when they wrestled on the other side. Oh no, I'm sorry, we were. And they wrestled really well. I was really impressed with that quad in Randolph was Gabby Conti from Hanover Park for hanging with these guys. It was a really good job, and congratulations to her. First girl to ever win OW and a championship at the Lenape Valley tournament.
Oh, that's impressive, and she's going to do some big things down the road.
It's going to be really well for them in the future, and it's going to be good for Hanover Park, especially with female wrestling. I think she's going to be one of those kind of standard bearers for them.
Oh, 100%. No question. And caution on Neal.
Caution.
But Brody Neal, the freshman, has had a pretty nice start to his career here at West Morris so far.
Well, the one thing with Neal, too, is, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, he stopped wrestling for a couple of years.
Oh, really?
He didn't wrestle in junior high. He actually kind of gave it up and wound up getting back into the sport this summer and giving it a shot. He had done some off-season stuff with a couple local teams. I know he was wrestling on, I think it was a freestyle travel team with Brandon Dean, and he kind of got him out to the room and everything. So he had kind of walked away a little bit and wanted a mental break from the sport. Just kind of recharge, because when you're on that high level all the time, it's rough. And he did, and how he's back, and it looks like he's going to pay dividends for West Morris here. He gives them a really solid 106.
Oh, most definitely. And they've always been solid in the lower weights for the last, maybe less than a decade a little bit, maybe even a decade at least.
The biggest problem with West Morris is they've had talent. The problem is they haven't had the depth that most of these teams have. So a lot of the times, and I was talking to a couple of the wrestlers beforehand, recent years you're starting down 18-0, 24-0. And yes, you have those big hammers in the lineup. You're like Borgia, who's not in there tonight, or some of the other ones. You're relying on them to not only get the wins, but get 6. And that's tough to have to rely on to get that done, because you might get a 4 that takes 2 bonus points away from you. You're trying to get it all set up with everything, and it's just how it works. So when they can get a full lineup, I put nothing past West Morris. They're a very solid squad.
Yeah, most definitely. And they've always been solid. Always have been.
Yeah, and that goes not only through Marold here, but you want to talk about the way they set the team up. Coach Rossi, who was here for a long time, he established that run. And it's actually funny, he's now in charge of the Jefferson Youth Program, and we were there yesterday doing the Wayne Hills at Jefferson match, and I kind of got a chance to see him working with the youth program there. And it's funny because I had never seen this before. He has a headset, so when he talks, everybody can hear it through a speaker. It's almost like he's one of those people trying to tell you how you can get your life together. Like it was like, you could make millions. I'm Johnny Woo. One of those old infomercials. It made me think of that right away. I started laughing.
My goodness, you don't see that very often in wrestling unless if you're commentating on a match. So that's really interesting to see.
Well, I think it helps keep the kids involved and everything, so it works out well.
Absolutely. Got about a minute 20 left to go in the second. Big escape there. It's 2-1.
5-1. They got points.
5-1. Okay.
I don't think they're putting it up. That's the team score, yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Unfortunately, the camera's aiming at it, but we're blocked by a goalpost, a basketball goalpost.
Yeah. Get that thing out of there.
So you can't really see for the guests. Well, he couldn't see it. Jared was pointing out that we could see it on the preview menu, but it's tilted towards me, and I could barely trust James Clarke to tie his shoes half the time. I'm going to let him look at the scoreboard.
Yeah. But
I mean, worst case with James Clarke, though, at least he didn't turn off the monitor right before we went and shut the whole system down 2 minutes before we went live to air.
It's just my presence. As Neil gets in, I can help out with this one. He has a near side cradle in. They go out of bounds. They got 37 seconds left to go in the second. And now he'll reset on top. Try to see what Neil can do. Tight waist. Trying to break down the base is Neil. See what he can do here. Less than 30 seconds to go in the second. Throwing in that leg is Neil. That's something that we've seen from last week he likes to do. We'll see if he can try and break down the base there for Katsakos. See if he can get some back points here before the end of the second. He's just got to watch his own back there and make sure he doesn't get caught.
Seven nothing here.
And this is going to be his choice. He's going to go neutral to start.
I mean, might as well.
Yeah. A lot of coaches like to do that when they're down. When they know the wrestler's down like a 7-0, for example, they like to go neutral. They'll go top. Try to work up on that offense. See if we can work on an elbow pass there is Katsakos. Trying to work an underhook. See what he can do from that is Neil. Trying to work on a throw, but a whizzer thrown in by Katsakos.
One thing I love to see, too, when they do some stuff like this, as Neil's going to escape out the back here, get the 2, is if you ever see when they're on that far line, the look of horror on some of these cheerleaders' faces when these guys are wrestling and they might be coming at them. It's like a horror movie in one.
Oh, I've always enjoyed seeing that. That was always.
And these are the 106s. Could you imagine when those heavyweights are in there? Some of these small girls, I feel bad. It'd be like, wait, got to put a little barrier there so nothing happens.
Yeah, I remember those days of wrestling. 50 seconds left to go with.
You mean when you were a cheerleader?
A bench warmer. That sounds a bit more better for my liking. But
Brody with the underhook here, getting the roll, gonna get some back points.
Yeah, could even get the pin here too.
I think he's close. He's right in great position. He's got 30 seconds left.
He just needs to put a little bit more pressure on that right shoulder.
Great job by Kostakis to get off his back. Going to make it 12-0 here, if I'm correct. Yep.
15 seconds left to go in the third. Neal leads 12-0.
12 seconds left. This is going to be interesting because obviously you're in major decision territory here. I obviously think that, you know, when you do it, you'd want to get as many points as you can here. So he's almost looking for a tech fall. Oh,
most definitely. He can definitely still work for that with 10 seconds left to go, unless if he can try to run something quick. But it looks like Neal is just going to get that 12-0 major.
Going to get this off to a 4-0. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athletes Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsor of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage. Donald J. Brower here with James Clarke. We are in Mount Olive High School, this big Northwest Jersey Athletic Conference American Division matchup between the West Morris Wolfpack and the Mount Olive Marauders. It is the second bout, 113.
And West Morris Central sends out first.
It's going to be Mason Vasquez and Anthony Piemonte for Mount Olive.
Yep.
Now, Piemonte, we're going to talk a little bit about him. Young kid, a sophomore, really busted on the scene last year. Was behind in the lineup behind Hagginson and some other guys. Hagginson winds up sitting due to injury at the MCT last year. Piemonte comes in, wins the whole thing.
I remember that, and he was such a solid wrestler from the times that we've covered Mount Olive last year. And I almost wanted to say that he was also a state qualifier too.
Nice double leg there.
If I'm not mistaken.
Trying to roll. You know what it is? He's so aggressive. It looks like he's in a fight out there. You see that with certain wrestlers? He just looks like he's like fighting there. Trying to get trying to hook the hands or see if he can get a cradle. Got the two. He's got him locked up, and plenty of time. If he just readjusts, keeps where he's at, and rolls the same way, he's fine. Just sit in there, and I think he's got it.
That's it.
He's stacked.
He's got him right there.
Only thing I can say is maybe the elbow is a little underneath, lifting the shoulder up. Now he readjusts. There, he gets the pin. 51 seconds in, Piemonte gets the pin.
Impressive win for the Mount Olive standout.
Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athletes Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsor of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage. Donald J. Brower with James Clarke here. We are at Mount Olive High School. This big battle between local rivals and American Division NJAC competitors. The Mount Olive Marauders and the West Morris Wolfpack. This is going to be Tyler Hagginson for West Morris. Or, excuse me, for Mount Olive.
For the Marauders at 120 pounds, Tyler Hagginson. For West Morris Central, Mark Montour.
And this is Mark Montour. Solid matchup between two guys who I'm sure, depending on what weight they go, probably meet each other in that MCT we were just talking about.
Yeah, most definitely. And Montour is a solid wrestler for West Morris, anchoring down at 120 as Hagginson gets the takedown.
That's the difference. So Mark Montour is very good. Hagginson is a former state medalist. So it's just a little bit different level. But both wrestlers are very good.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And Hagginson will definitely be making a run this year for a state title for sure for Mount Olive.
Very much so. He actually committed to Buffalo University. He's going to go up there and wrestle.
Gets in on a takedown. He gets it. 4-1, Hagginson.
I'm just going to call it right now. I'm going to get confused halfway through with the numbers, the fact that where they have the team score due to the score. So if I accidentally say somebody it's 34-4, that's not the actual match score. I'm going to mess that up. I can already tell. Some of these scoreboards are throwing me.
It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Got him stacked up here. Might get another quick pin.
It looks like he's very close to it, but just needs to put that knee to the side.
See what he did there? He's kicking the leg out, trying to get the leverage off. If he could slide his weight out from underneath, he'll get him flatter. Wants to try to kick his leg out, get that balance off.
I think he can get it there,
and he gets the pin.
All right, 12-4, Mount Olive leads. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athletes Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage.
And while you're checking out our coverage, check out our social medias. On Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com. On Twitter, at GardenStateHSW. On Instagram, at GardenStateHSWrestling. And if you want to follow and follow us on YouTube, go ahead and do that. Just follow. You get notified when we have this stuff and everything else we have going on. Donald J. Brower here with James Clarke. We are at Mount Olive High School. The 126 bout between the Mount Olive Marauders and the West Morris Wolfpack.
"15 seconds into the first period. Both wrestlers feeling each other out. Looks like
this is Brandon Perez and Jacob Fahmy.
And Perez having a nice start to his season, too. We've seen him quite a few times wrestle aggressively and tough for Mount Olive.
Nice takedown there by Perez. The one thing I'll say about this Mount Olive team, too, is we knew they were good. Like, when we were putting everything together, we knew they were a top 20 team. Like, there was no doubt that they were a top 20 team. Anybody who didn't think Mount Olive was a top 20 team doesn't know what they're doing in this business. So we knew they were a top 20 squad. They go out, they slap around Delsey, and they hang tough with a really tough Peaburg team. So I think that fired them up because they thought they had a shot against Peaburg. As we get another pin here, quickly making this an 18-4 matchup.
Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage. We are here at Mount Olive High School covering the Mount Olive Marauders and the West Morris Wolfpack with your hosts Donald Brower and James Clarke on the call. We are here at 1:32 as Mount Olive leads 18-4.
We got Bullock coming out for Mount Olive.
132 pounds, Justin Bullock. For West Morris Central, Jacob Harrison.
And we got Jacob Harrison for West Morris.
And a quick takedown there for Bullock.
Bullock very aggressive here. One of the young guys you want to keep an eye on for this team. There always seems to be a wave coming through in the youth program, and this is the year you're going to see a little more. You got Bullock coming through. You got Smythe coming through. The son of the head coach, very quality wrestler. So, I mean, you're talking about some kids who should have an impact on the future of this program.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And even with the losses of Jack Basterica and Anthony Moscatello, these guys are definitely going to be anchoring down in the lower weights for years to come.
That's what I mean. They'll fill out a lineup and everything. Like, when you look at this team and you see who's coming back, like, I don't know how this team wasn't a top 20 ranked team this year.
I really don't understand it either because they've been so good since we've covered them so many times this year already.
Going to get a roll here. I mean, is there a pool on who can get the fastest pin? Because, I mean, some of these pins are pretty quick. I don't know if they got like a little side bet going. Oh, you can't side bet. I'm sorry. I can't talk about betting. I'm sorry. I can't do that. Jared just gave me the eye. I might get in trouble. Might have to call my lawyer again.
But so far, every pin that we've seen, it's all been in the first period in favor of Mount Olive.
And it's interesting because you send Neil out there. You start with the 4, obviously 106, and then you kind of get a little momentum going on, and it's just blitzkrieg after blitzkrieg pin. It's like it's got to be disheartening. But this West Morris team will fight.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, they've wrestled a lot of tough teams already. High Point, Pope John, Warren Hills. They've already wrestled.
They didn't wrestle any bad squad. Like, you're not losing to a team that barely has a squad to fill or anything like that. Like, you're not wrestling like some horrible squads. You're wrestling top-notch squads, and that's reflective. And that's you know what it is. I applaud West Morris for doing that because, hey, your team records aren't going to look that great, but your wrestlers are going to be a hell of a lot better.
And they also were impressive at the John Goals tournament. They were placing in the top 3 as a team.
Yep.
It was impressive.
And that's a tough tournament. I mean, Del Val ran away with that.
Oh, 100%.
Del Val is just like on another level.
We'll see how they do coming up in HWS in this week.
Yeah, they got a big matchup on the 10th with Voorhees. And they got a tough conference out there. I know they're out there with, well, actually, no, they moved out of a tougher conference, but they got, a tough lineup. And they still, just because you're not in the conference out there with like a Hunterdon Central or those other teams, they still wrestle them. They ain't ducking anybody.
No,
Coach Fitzers wrestles everybody.
And we're going to get a locked hands call there. And that'll be locked hands there. 1 point for Bullock, 5-0.
Violation on green, locked hands. 1 red.
And I got to say this about Mount Olive too. They've just been getting better and better. The youth program, as we've talked about, is just keeps getting stronger and stronger. But you take a look at all those coaches over there. You know, at one point, some, if not, you know, all of them could really be head coaches elsewhere too. But they're all doing such a great job here at Mount Olive.
Well, look at who they have here. You have Romano, who could have been a head coach anywhere, but he's been a long-time assistant. You have Joe Barchetta, who was head coach at Hills and Knowles. You have Ryerson, who was the head coach at Hanover Park. Then you have another coach who I know who was the head coach at Morris Catholic. So there's plenty of guys who have experience running the room. And the one thing I like, too, is seeing everything from what I've seen. Smythe is, how do I put this? He's a hands-on but hands-off coach. He lets the other coaches do stuff. You know, you have some guys who are just, they're head coaches and they kind of have to do everything. That's not Smythe.
No, definitely not. It definitely shows on the map for sure. 1 minute to go in the second. And Bullock leading 9-0 over his opponent, Harrison for West Morris. Now locking up a cradle. See if we can get another pin here for Mount Olive.
Get a roll back. I think he's got him now. There he gets the pin. He's out of the pool, though, because it went into the second period, so he doesn't. His time doesn't count.
So 24-4, Mount Olive. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage.
Do you own a local business? Become a sponsor on the premier high school wrestling provider in the state. Sponsorship opportunities are available for team pages and live stream coverages, with limited ones left for the 23-24 season. How do you become a sponsor or learn more? Click on the Your logo here, fill out the ad, and it'll come directly to me. Why deal with a used car salesman goof when I deliver the proof? We are the premier high school wrestling provider in New Jersey, so forget the rest. Come with the best. GardenStateHSWrestling.com. This is Smythe, who we were just talking about. He's out here now. And then Caruso for West Morris Central.
And Colin Smythe, the head coach's son, has done a great job so far to start out his freshman year at Mount Olive.
And you have to figure he's been a part of this program forever. His dad's been here since before he was born. So he's been, you know, he's one of those kids I'm sure was at a practice on a Saturday when he was like 7 or 8 years old. He knows what this squad is about. So the great representative of the team, you know.
And just to carry on that tradition and camaraderie that Mount Olive has built here for, you know, the last several years.
100%.
Got a minute 12 to go in the first, and Smythe looking near a takedown.
Caruso's got that leg hook. Smythe stepping around, might get the 2. If he could clear that hand, and he gets the 2. He broke that grip. Caruso had his arm in between the legs. He came around. Now Smythe is trying to lock up a cradle. He's got the ankle there.
This will be tough to do, but I think he's in pretty good position.
Just got to watch where he wants to roll, though, because he's so close to the edge. If he rolls backward, he wants to spin him around, so when he rolls, he's rolling towards the edge or inside, not out. Good job by Caruso, though, breaking the grip.
And what I really like about Smythe, we talked about it, he's trying to be careful where he is. He has really, really good mat awareness, which is key in the sport of wrestling.
Caruso up to his feet. Good mat return there. Caruso back up.
See what he can do.
Might get a restart, or is he going to cut him here? Cuts him. Doesn't want to get that stall warning.
Makes it 2-1 for Smythe. And that's the end of one period. Colin Smythe leads 2-1.
Red defers to green. Oh, green defers to red. Red chooses defense.
Smythe taking defense.
And we'll see what Smythe can do from the bottom position. As Caruso works to the side, now trying to break down the base of Smythe. He has a cross face thrown in there.
Gets up to his feet, trying to break the grip, turns around.
Has control of that leg. See if he can try and break him back down or just cut him, but Smythe near an escape, and now a stall on Caruso. He breaks him back down. Now you just got to be careful because he was just warned for stalling.
Caruso might have to just cut him here.
I think if they get this restart here, I think if you're a West Morris coach, I think you would think about cutting him, try to go back on your feet.
He's got to clear that arm again. Breaks him down. He's got to peel that arm off and get around that leg. Gets the 2, reversal.
Makes it 4-1 Smythe.
Trying to run a crossface there.
See if he can lock up a cradle. Just needs to go to the
Transition.
side.
I think he's got him locked up.
Yeah, near the pin there, but going to get 3 back points on that one. Unless if he tries to roll him back again to the pin.
I think he's going to try. I think he's still close enough that he can lock it back up and roll through. Transitions to something else to try to break him down a little bit. Oh, that's nice. Look at this. Using his own arm to pin.
See if he can get something here. Going to work.
If he could peel that hand off and transition through, that's a good maneuver there. He just wants to put his weight on that shoulder. He's in good position.
See if he can get it here.
If he could clear that leg. Gets that leg cleared and just kind of sit back with it. Hooks it in deep. That's deep. There we go. Pin.
All right. Great job for Colin Smythe.
Great mat wrestling there by Smythe, getting everything going.
Leads now 30-4 for Mount Olive. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage. We are here at Mount Olive High School covering the Mount Olive Marauders and the West Morris Wolfpack with your commentators on the call, Donald Brower and James Clarke. We're here at 1:44. Always enjoy listening to some good old AC/DC.
Hopefully we don't get kicked off the air for copyright.
Here we go.
At 144 pounds for Mount Olive's Stephen Hayek. For West Morris Central, Sam Rizzuto.
We got Rizzuto here for West Morris.
So this should be a nice solid matchup here for Hayek and Rizzuto. Just think these two schools, as we've talked about it many times before, not very far from each other at all. Probably at least like less than 10 miles from each other.
If that, I mean, they're literally, as the crow flies, they're maybe 2 miles away. They actually, and we said this before in the past, they were Mount Olive before they became their own school district. Used to be the 3rd school in the West Morris district. So it was Mendham, West Morris, Central, and Mount Olive. And then Mount Olive wound up getting their own school district, and now here you go. Still rivalry there.
Yeah, these two schools really know each other very well.
Take down Rizzuto.
And you got to think, too, a lot of these guys that go to wrestling clubs and everything, these guys know each other very well.
Oh, 100%. These guys know each other. They're around. They're friendly with each other. This is like you're right next to each other. This isn't like a faraway matchup where, maybe with the quad we did last week, how often do Mount Olive wrestlers see P-Burg wrestlers, unless it's a rarity thing. These guys, I'm sure, see they're out of town, over there at Stop and Shop, Acme, wherever they're at, ShopRite. Hey, how you doing? Hey,
That's what you got to love about the sport of wrestling, is everybody knows each other when you're involved in wrestling. 20 seconds left to go in the first with Rizzuto.
I thought he had him there, but I guess great job by Hack fighting off.
He was close to it, but he's going to get 3 back points of his own. Make it 5-0 Rizzuto. Less than 5 seconds to go in the first, and Rizzuto leads this one 5-0. It's going to be Hayek's choice. I think he's going to defer, and Rizzuto is going to go bottom to start the second period. We'll see what these two wrestlers can do, what kind of matchup they'll prevail going into the second. Rizzuto stands now.
Beautiful reversal.
Nice switch there by Rizzuto.
That was pretty.
Reversal, 2 green.
Makes it 7-0 Rizzuto. We'll see what he could do here from being on top. He has control of that leg. Could try to hook it, but loses control of that. Try to reach back there is Rizzuto. All right, we'll see what they can do. He has control of that wrist, is Hayek. But we'll find out if he can do anything with that wrist. Now just trying to work back. Just has to be careful he doesn't get for stalling, hit for stalling here for Hayek. As not doing too much from the bottom position.
I don't know if that'd be Hayek's first, I'm sure. I don't think he got banged already.
No, not yet.
But you still don't want to get that going into the third trailing.
No, definitely not.
You'd like to try to keep this, if possible, to a regular decision. I know it's right on the cusp there, 7-0.
But you never know. Wrestling is a crazy sport where anything can happen. One little slip up, you could be done. But
oh yeah, we've seen it where guys who are, that's why you wrestle the matches, so we get an escape there.
Makes it 7-1 now for Rizzuto, leading for West Morris. And circles back into the center is Rizzuto. And trying to go back in it is Hayek. That'll be interesting to see where he chooses to go into the third period, which, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he might choose bottom to try to get that escape point again.
I don't know, Rizzuto's been doing really good on top and held him down for a little bit. I would assume that would be the strategy, though. I don't think that would change anything. I don't know if you have confidence as Smythe and his coaching staff has. Do you want to put Hayek in a position where he can get tilted, or is he going to take any? We answered our own question.
There we go. So Hayek going to go bottom to start the third period. We'll see. I mean, he was doing such a good job from bottom before a little bit. They're not getting turned any more than he was in the first period. But Rizzuto still, a solid wrestler in his own right. Has done some good things for this West Morris crew for the last couple of years. Now trying to work up to the base is Hayek. And now has control of that wrist. And Rizzuto still riding from top. Now trying to throw in that leg there. We'll see what he could try and do. Maybe he could try to work a power half or something to try to work for back points, but Hayek doing such a nice job there.
We'd also like to take the time to thank some of our local sponsors who have been supporting us for the year and have made this possible. New Jersey Total Health, Victor Super Premium Pet Foods, Mia Nona's Cucina of Flanders, OMG Burger and Brew, Market Tavern of Flanders, Marketplace of Flanders, Tucker's Plumbing, Ginza Bar Restaurant Sushi, and the 19th Hole. Thank you for your continued sponsorship.
And stop for a stalemate for both wrestlers. Now we'll work back to the center of the mat. 55 seconds left to go in the third. Rizzuto leads 7-1.
Also, I'd like to get some feedback from everybody. As you're watching this, please leave comments and emails. What do you think of our new camera setup with the multi-camera? Do you like the action? Do you prefer the single camera setup, or do you like the different shots? We always want to do what the fans want. We're not like other places. We listen to the people.
And I'm actually really enjoying it myself, too.
It's nice to get a couple of extra shots.
The next thing to work on is instant replay. But
If
that
you-
could be expensive, too. 20 seconds to go in the third.
We provide the best coverage. That's all you got to worry about.
Oh, 100%. Now trying to work a near side cradle is Rizzuto. See if he can get it here. He's going to get it. He's going to get in the major,
I'm not sure he's going to get the pin here.
but he'll at least get the major, which is something that Mount Olive definitely didn't want. But hey, you save your team a pin, so.
Well, I think if Mount Olive had the choice between the 6 or the 4, they'd rather give up the 4.
Most definitely. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage.
Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, on Twitter at GardenStateHSW, on Instagram at GardenStateHSWrestling, and on YouTube. Like and subscribe. It's right there. We've had the best week we've had in viewership with memory. Thank you guys so much. Let's keep the ball rolling. Donald J. Brower here with James Clarke. We're at Mount Olive High School. It is the big battle between Mount Olive and West Morris. Mount Olive is leading 30-8. We're about halfway through at 150.
At 150 pounds from Mount Olive, Tanner Perez. For West Morris, Kurt Byer.
Byer and Perez here. Perez in there deep on the single, picks him up.
And gets in on a nice quick takedown.
2-0, he takes the lead.
Tanner Perez, the younger brother of Hunter Perez, who was a outstanding wrestler for Mount Olive. We got him 20 seconds into the first, and Perez leads this one 2-0 over Kurt Byer from West Morris. And now trying to run the arm bar is Perez near the pin.
I think he's got him. Floated up a little bit much.
See if we can try and get him here. It's pretty close to it, but I think that elbow's still a little bit up.
If Perez could have stuck up there, he would have been #1 in the pool. Now it's going to be a race.
Well, this will be very interesting to see at the end. But he leads this one 5-0 after those 3 back points from the armbar. And now he runs it again. He's going to work for some more back points yet again. And now he's got him. I think he's got him stuck there. And he does. Big pin there for Tanner Perez of Mount Olive. Extends the lead 36-8. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage. Donald J. Brower, James Clarke here on the call as we're listening to some great music here at Mount Olive High School between the Mount Olive Marauders and West Morris Wolfpack. Heading into the 157 bout.
Get a little bit of Dominic the Christmas Donkey.
Definitely. One of the best ways to do that.
Facino and Coppola.
Should be another solid matchup here.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens next because I want to see this next match. I think Dean's coming out next.
100%.
And I want to see who Mount Olive sends and throws out there.
Which would be a solid matchup for him either way. But now getting on a takedown is Fazzino on his own. And what a beautiful, beautiful double leg takedown there by Fazzino. Takes this one 2-0.
Biggest difference, I think, obviously, when you look here is Mount Olive's getting their wins by pins. West Morris is only getting major decisions. You know, the math's not going to click here in a few.
No, definitely not. As we're
there we go. That's what I was talking about. Look at the fear. The fear on those stat girls' faces when those guys scooted out.
The quirks of wrestling and being a cheerleader on the edge of the mat.
At least they have to keep paying attention.
And now we're going to get a caution there by Fazzino on the elbow. We get a reset.
Great way to wrap up our 2023 coverage with this matchup. Had a great week so far. You know, obviously being at the Jefferson match yesterday, the Kittatinny Lynn Crum Memorial on Thursday, and then all the action we had last week to kick off the first week. I mean, we're putting in so many matches. I mean, we're blowing the competition away with how much coverage we're doing.
Yeah, it's just been outstanding doing it all this year. And we've seen a lot of really good wrestling to start the season.
And we've got around a lot of places too. You know what I mean? It's not like we're going to the same places. We're hitting places that, you know, you want to see and you want to get out there and do some stuff and, you know, go from there. Also want to take a quick moment to say congratulations to 2 coaches. Chris Lance from Jefferson and Brian Piccolo from Randolph both welcomed children into the world yesterday. So they're happy fathers.
Congratulations. Got 20 seconds left to go in the first with Vizino leading 2-0. 12 seconds left to go in the first. We'll see what Vizino can do here, but you know, Capolo doing a nice job keeping his base, not getting any more turns or cheap points anywhere like that. So we'll end the first period with a 2-0 lead for Vizino.
That actually could have been a little worse than it was because Vizino was all over him. So to only be down 2-0, heading, looks like he's going to let him up here. So we're going to 2-1.
2-1 here. Which I think the West Morris coaches feel confident that Vizino can just keep working the takedown game. As Capolo's been doing a nice job with riding from top. Now Capolo trying to run here, see if he can do something from this. He has control, a little bit of the wrist, but hanging on the head is Vizino. Vizino gonna try and go in, but Capolo getting a takedown of his own. He leads it 3-2, unless if Vizino can get a quick escape, but doing a good job, and now he'll get that, and so we're all knotted up at 3. So we're all tied up here at 3, minute 10 left to go in the second period. And we'll see what Capolo can do. Let's see if he can get another takedown of his own.
So, I mean, talk about a great return for this period, you know? Looked like he was in trouble in the first, and he's actually giving Vizino a really good matchup here. So all the credit to him here halfway through the second.
Definitely, and especially the way he was taken down. He wasn't even getting turned on. You know, it was impressive.
It's been a solid performance so far.
Most definitely. Got about 38 seconds left to go in the second. We're still tied up at 3. I think Vizino's being a little bit more cautious now after giving up that takedown to Capolo. Under 30 seconds left to go, and Vizino getting in on a shot of his own, but getting out of bounds are both wrestlers. And they'll reset. Get the snap on the head. Now going in on another shot of his own is Vizino, but blocked off there by Capolo. You know, definitely learning his lesson from the first period.
Totally. And he wants to go here 3, see if he gets something late, but
6 seconds left to go in the second. And we'll see if both wrestlers are just content with going into the third, tied at 3. And they are. It's going to be Vizino's choice, and he's going to go bottom. We'll see what he can do from the top position for Capolo, as we have not seen him yet from top, or at least that long of a period of time. All tied up at 3. He's just got to try to lift him back here for a mat return.
But Vizino's going to get out there. It was very close with Vizino and Coppola, you know, holding him on there. So great job by Vizino. Claire, he now leads 4-3. I'm sure he'll push the action, wants to get something more, but he doesn't want to get, you know, throw himself and get into that position.
Most definitely. But he leads it right now 4-3 for Vizino. And leaning on the head there is Vizino, and blocking it off is Coppola. I always like these. I know we've talked about it a lot before, but I've always liked these lower scoring defensive matches. They always make you wonder, like, who's going to get the last takedown, who's going to win it, who's going to block it off. These are the kind of matches that I've always enjoyed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those are. Yeah, you know, it's more nerve-wracking, but you really like to see those super close matches against the best guys, you know?
Oh, 100%. Like, you could just tell that these two wrestlers are definitely evenly matched. As Capolo trying to get in, but, you know, sprawling out is Vizino.
Capolo, though, switching from a double, got that leg right there. Going to try to see if he can elevate here.
Might be able to, but, you know.
Nope, we're going to get stalemate.
Stalemate, so they'll have to get themselves reset. 41 seconds left to go in the third. Now tap on the head. And Capolo?
I think it's Capolo. Capolo, you know, has to be aggressive here.
He is. He has to be. Down by 1 point. He's got to get a takedown. Takedown wins it. You just got to be careful that he circles in a little bit, but trying to push him out of bounds is Vizino. He gets his wish, pushing him out of bounds, 13 seconds, but you know, that still gives Capolo a little bit of time left to really see what he can do.
Capolo's got to be quick on the shot here.
Goes in, get a stall warning on Vecino, but unless if anything crazy happens here, it doesn't look like it's going to matter that much as Vecino, 2 seconds left.
Wow, they hit him with a late stall. Wow, did they call that fleeing?
I think they're saying that's fleeing the mat because I didn't see him pull up for another stall. Coach Merrill's going to want to talk about this one. So I think he hit him with a saw. I kind of saw him indicate that. That's interesting. But now we're all knotted up before. We're going to overtime. Takedown wins it in the first overtime period.
We got some free wrestling here, so they say in baseball games. It's all free.
100%.
I'll tell you what, Capolo had wrestled a great match after the way it started for him to be in overtime against this guy.
Yeah, I think he's got to be proud of himself either way. Now they get, now it's going to be a caution on Vecino, I think. Nope, he didn't say that. Okay, so 50 seconds, 10 seconds into the overtime period. Vecino getting on a shot, blocked off by Capolo.
Capolo wants to try to clear the left.
Gets
him, throws him to his back.
And
he gets the pin.
Gets the pin in overtime. Wow.
Wow. You want to talk about a turnaround of a match. That's a kid who looked like he was wrestling, going to get dominated, take it down early, fights back. That's the heart of wrestling right there.
Oh.
That match, you watch that match, that's the heart of wrestling to come out and do that.
100%. Woo. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage.
There was a deduction of a team point there.
Oh, that was definitely a turn of events there in that bout right there. What looked like it was going to be a Vecino win early in the first, and it just turned around, and Capolo getting that pin in overtime.
I think Wes Morris is saying that he called the fleeing of the mat too soon. It wasn't a fleeing of the mat. It should have been counted on stalling. The referee disagreed. That's the second point.
So here we go, 165 to go.
42-7 here.
So Brandon Dean for Wes Morris. One of the best wrestlers to come out from Wes Morris.
5th in the state last year.
Always enjoy him. He's one of those guys that I really enjoy seeing for Wes Morris, and you know, he definitely reminds me from like those middleweights. They're like a Marco Gaeta who wrestled for Wes Morris, a solid wrestler for them in the past, and you know, seen him in these middleweights. As he leads this one 2-0. And now indicated that he was getting an optional start, but getting in that front headlock is Brandon Dean. And now gonna let up on the escape, I think. And swirling out of that is Dean. And Dobek from Mount Olive. Here we go. Another 2-0 here for Brandon Dean of Wes Morris. We'll see what he can do, and they go out of bounds. I think he indicated 3 backwards. Okay, so 4-1. Okay, that's what I thought. I thought he did get the escape there.
Escape, then a takedown.
So 4-1 now for Dean. Lets him up again, make it 4-2.
One escape, red.
And getting on a shot of his own is Dobek. We'll see if he can finish it, but Dean denying otherwise.
Trying to peel that arm off. Nice takedown there by Dean. Just literally peeled the arm off, cleared the leg.
Make this one 6-2 for Brandon Dean.
So I'm going to do some math here. So they can't win.
No.
I think even if they pinned that, it'd still be less.
And I think even with that deduction of that point doesn't even make a difference. So it's all over here. But, you know, for bragging rights, Brandon Dean trying to get a win for his West Morris team. Makes it 8-2 Brandon Dean. We'll see what he chooses to do. He's going bottom right away. But coach disagrees and says defer.
Red chooses defense.
And Dobek is going to go defense to start. And we'll see what he can do from the top position. I think he's just going to let him up again as he indicated optional start.
Let him up, take him down.
And that's what it's looked like it's going to be for Brandon Dean. It's just playing the takedown game here.
No, he didn't get the takedown. I don't think they gave it to him. It was too close to the edge.
Yeah.
It looked like 8-3.
See what he can do here for Brandon Dean going in. Nice double leg there for Dean.
Nice takedown. You said takedown machine. He's going to try to hook something here.
See if he can work something from that. His control of that hidden arm. See if he tries to turn him here. Now locking up a cradle.
Dean looks like a wrestler. Like if you saw him, there's no doubt, like if you're walking through a mall and you see that kid wrestles. But you just know.
100%. 100%. Definitely built like one. He's done a lot of really good things for this West Morris team.
Going to get his back points here.
And he'll...
Going to get 2 or is it 2?
Yeah.
No, he got the 3. Okay.
It was,
I thought it was close.
It was very close. So he grabs that ankle.
13-3 here.
Got about 50 seconds left to go in the first period. Dean holding on to a 10-point advantage here, 13-3. And throwing in that leg, which is something that we've seen a lot from West Morris today. Throwing in those legs, working either a power half or a cradle. Those are definitely some favorite moves we've seen today from West Morris.
Well, Dean's also, you know, very well accomplished in the freestyle and everything else. So, I mean, he's been – I don't think there's been a weekend from what I could tell that he's not wrestled.
No, definitely not.
I mean, like I said, he's all over.
12 seconds left to go in the second. So you can do here for that time being. 5 seconds to go in the second. Throws in that leg is Dean, and that's the end of 2 periods, and we have a 13-3 lead for Brandon Dean.
He's going to take defense.
Green chooses defense.
We'll see what he can do here. Gets the restart. Try to break down the base is Dobek. And trying to get in on that switch is Dean. Near the switch, but he's definitely going to be looking for some more, so he has control of that. Those legs right there for Dean. And grabbing on, doing a nice job doing defensive wrestling is Dobek, not trying to give up that reversal from Dean. And still control that ankle. Holding in is Dobek. And I think he should be, he's near it, near the reversal.
He's got the foot, he just needs to clear it. I think we may get a restart here. No, he's got the 2. Get a reversal there.
So reversal there for Dean. He leads it 15-3. Minute 6 left to go in the third. And Dean definitely wanted to work for some bonus points as part of the bragging rights for this West Morris team. And we'll see if he can get it here. He'll definitely get some back points out of it.
Going to step over and lay his weight there. He might have this.
He might get the pin even more.
And he does.
Great job by Brandon Dean from West Morris getting the first pin today for West Morris Central. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage.
Do you own a local business? Do you want to become a sponsor? We have limited sponsorship opportunities for the 23-24 season, either on a live stream or the team pages. How do you become one? Just click on the Your logo here on one of the random pages or send me an email at admin@GardenStateHSWrestling.com. We're very cost effective. We're one of the best live stream coverages in the state, and we don't lie to you. Why deal with a used car salesman goof when we deliver the proof? GardenStateHSWrestling.com is the premier live wrestling stream coverage in the area. Don't listen to the rest. Deal with the best. We got Martini from Mount Olive.
From Mount Olive, 175 pounds, Jared Martini. For West North Central, Lucas Barasonic.
And Lucas Barasonic from Westmore Central.
Now we're getting to the big guys.
Yep, we have 175, then we have 190, 215, and 285.
Thank you for explaining how wrestling weights work, James.
Not a problem at all. You know, I'm still getting used to these new weight classes.
Well, one guy we're not going to be able to see today is Borgia, Tommy Borgia, who won't be wrestling today. Banged up his knee a little bit at the goals. He's going to rest it up, make sure it's good for the rest of the season, so he's sitting this one out. But sitting here on Matt's side, Donald J. Brower here with James Clarke, the 175 bout here between the Mount Olive Marauders and the West Morris Wolfpack, live here from West Morris High School, or Mount Olive High School in Flanders, New Jersey. They're so close to each other, I get them confused.
Yeah, as we talked about, less than 10 miles apart from each other, even
less than 5.
that.
Yeah, it's like 2.5.
It could be a nice hiking trip for West Morris if they really wanted to.
I'm not even sure if
hike.
West Morris took a bus here. They might have walked. They jogged here to get their warm-up in.
Yeah, there you go. Best way to do it. And they go out of bounds for Martini and Barasonic. Got 50 seconds left to go in the first period. We still have a 0-0 tie here between the two wrestlers. Looked like Martini was trying to work on a throw. But wasn't able to get anything going for that. And trying to break down the base is Martini. And they go out of bounds. And they'll restart in the center of the mat.
Martini trying to change levels there a little bit.
Trying to break down the base is Martini. We'll see what he can do. Break him down. And he spins from behind. He gets the takedown of his own. He leads it 2-0. And doing a good job breaking down the base is Martini. And that'll be the end of one period with a 2-0 lead for Martini. And going on the bottom is Martini, so we'll see what he can do from bottom. It's a 2-0 lead for him. And trying to get back on top is Barasonic. Nice evenly matched here right now between the two wrestlers of Martini and Barasonic, one of the few that we've seen today. And looking like he was going to try to get in cradle, but not really in that great a position was Barasonic. But we'll see what he can do to reset that. Try to work for some points on his own. And Martini has control of that arm. Trying to get out of that is Martini, but Barasonic doing what he can to try to ride and get the turn there for him, but he's going to give up the escape, and we'll have a 3-0 lead for Martini. And a little bit of some head taps there from both wrestlers. And going in on another shot there is Martini. We'll see if Barasonic can try to sprawl out of this one. And he...
Oh, Barasonic's going to get the 2, come around.
Yep, gets the takedown of his own. Cuts the lead 3-2. Now trying to run a half there is Barasonic. We'll see if nothing there going, but a Peterson roll there for Martini.
He's going to get the 2 reversal. He's going to get some back points here.
And this is at least the 3rd or 4th time that I've seen a Peterson roll for this year, which is not a common move that you see as much anymore.
Nice transition there. Let's go with the legs. Comes up, pulls ahead, gets the pin.
And another pin for Mount Olive extends the lead 48-13 with 3 bouts to go. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athletes Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage.
Don't forget to follow us on social media, on Facebook, GardenStateHSWrestling.com, on Twitter at GardenStateHSW, on Instagram, GardenStateHSWrestling. And I know you're already on YouTube because that's how you're watching us. Click like and follow so you get subscribed to everything we do when it comes to our podcasts, our live streams, our special edition stuff. We have some big stuff coming up. Like and follow. Thank you for the last couple of weeks. Our viewership has been through the roof, record numbers. So thank you for that, and we hope to continue it this year. This is Borgia, Michael Borgia, and Tyler Bienes from Mount Olive. Takedown there by Bienes.
At 190 we are. Tyler Bienes, one of the best wrestlers to come out from this Mount Olive squad, for sure.
Yeah, Bienes is really good.
He's also going to be on a mission this year, but had a really nice matchup this past week against Harvey Ludington from Brick Memorial.
Down at the Brick Memorial Tournament.
Yeah.
Yep.
Impressive.
He's opening some people's eyes. I think he might have gotten overshadowed a little bit by the Bastaricas and the Moscatelos. He's very good last year. So now he's kind of, there.
100%. I would definitely expect some big things for him coming into this season. And he's going to get a pin of his own here. It looks like he's near it at least, and he gets it.
He didn't beat previous times, but he's still in the running in the pool.
Most definitely. Today's broadcast is presented by Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition, Apex Wrestling School, and the Harrington Companies, the official sponsors of GardenStateHSWrestling.com's live wrestling coverage. We are here at Mount Olive High School between the Mount Olive Marauders and the West Morris Wolfpack with your commentators on the call, Donald Brower and James Clarke, as we have 2 bouts to go, 215 to 115-pound weight class, and we'll see who they send out from Mount Olive. 54-13 lead here for Mount Olive.
See what we got here. I don't know who they're going to send out here. They're going to give him a forfeit.
Give him the forfeit, extend the lead to 60-13 for Mount Olive as we go into the heavyweight bout.
Now, I think I'm pretty sure I know who this is.
Yep, I think so too.
This is like, for Mount Olive, it's going to be Jeremiah Medina and AJ Codella. This is Medina and Codella. Before we get started with this last match, I want to say thank you to some of our local sponsors who have been big proponents of us all year and help us bring us not only these matches, but support the squads throughout the year. New Jersey Total Health, Victor Sport, Super Premium Pet Foods, Mia Nona's Kashina of Flanders, OMG Burger and Brew, Market Tavern of Flanders, Tucker's Plumbing, Ginza Bar, Restaurant Sushi, the 19th Hole, and the Marketplace. Thank you so much for your continued support and what we do here at GardenStateHSWrestling.com. We also can't forget our main sponsors, the Harrington Companies, Apex Wrestling School, and Champion Athlete Sports Nutrition. Big providers of what we've done all year. Our main sponsors, they help bring us all the live streams that we do and help with our upcoming podcasts and every little bit of information we give out. Thank you for supporting us this year.
So the final bout of the day here between Medina and Codella. Definitely should be a great way to end today with the heavyweight bout.
Wouldn't this be a great ultimate tiebreaker bout?
Most definitely. I mean, you definitely want to end, end the day on a high note.
I was actually talking to another member of the press today, earlier when we were here, and he told me, he wished heavyweight would go to ultimate tiebreaker. He said the one thing he wants to do is the heavyweight match in this to go ultimate tiebreaker. And I said, Ryan, maybe.
You never know.
He wants it to go ultimate tiebreaker for sure. He says heavyweight should be unlimited time limit. He loves it. He just wants it to go all the time.
And Codella getting on a takedown of his own. And going back to that, it's always a lot of fun when we see them go into that because you never know who's going to hold who down.
You know what? It just clicked to me right now. His play-out song, I just realized what it was. It was Funky Cold Medina, and his name's Medina. It literally just clicked. I just looked like, oh, okay, and I was kind of like, that's cool. And then I looked at him. I get him eventually, people. I'm the sharpest spoon in the drawer.
Oh, most definitely. Oh, boy. 18 seconds left to go. We got Codella leading 2-0. See what we can try and do here as he tries to almost had a power half there, but not successful with it. 5 seconds left to go in the first in this heavyweight matchup between Medina and Cadella, and now will be the end of one, and Cadella leads this one 2-0. He's going to defer, and it's going to be Medina's choice. He's going to go bottom to start the second period. And we'll see what he could do from that for Cadella. There we go. Medina going on the bottom to start the second period. Trying to work something there is Cadella. Just has to be careful he doesn't get called for stalling on top, but the bottom man also has to do something himself as well. For those who don't know the sport of wrestling or are learning. Trying to work to the side there is Cadella. See what he can do here. Got a stall warning there on Medina, which we thought would happen eventually, but now he's got to try to work up to a space and not give up another stall, and then a point to Cadella. But Cadella doing a pretty good job. It just needs to get a little bit more pressure. And
He's got that hooked.
I think he's got him here. And that's the pin.
I'll tell you what, I love heavyweight wrestling. I was a heavyweight. Once you get that roll and you get that half in, there's not a lot of heavyweights that are getting back up.
Nah.
It's done.
Not very many do, but great way for Westmore's to end the day.
It was a great, quick matchup. I mean, what are we looking at here? We did about an hour. Usually these are about an hour and a half. I thought Romano was going to take somebody out there. No, I'm kidding. You want to become a sponsor? Did you like what you see here today? Did you see the teams shaking hands? We have limited sponsorship opportunities for the 23-24 season. Do you work a local business? Learn more. Just click on the Your Logo Here button on any team page, or email me at admin@gardenstatehswrestling.com. I'll return the email with information in a 24-hour time period. We'd love to help spread the word about you. Make your business the star of the show. We want to help you grow. Why deal with a used car salesman goof when we deliver the proof? GardenStateHSWrestling.com is the premier high school wrestling coverage provider in the state. Let us help you. Why deal with the rest when you can come work with the best? GardenStateHSWrestling.com. And social medias. You want to follow us? Follow us on Facebook at GardenStateHSWrestling.com. On Twitter at GardenStateHSW. On Instagram at GardenStateHSWrestling. And on YouTube. Like, subscribe, follow us. You'll get notified when we go live. You'll get notified when we do a podcast, which we'll have up tomorrow. You'll get notified anything we put on the channel. We got a bunch of stuff coming up. We're going to be doing stuff with the Big North. We're going to be doing stuff with the HWS. We're going to be doing stuff with the Passaic County Tournament, Essex County Tournament, Morris County Tournament. You know, groups, everything. We're going to be all over doing everything we can. So follow us and be on the ball for everything we do. But we'll bring you back here into the Harrington Company's media room. James, obviously, the match was a little more lopsided than we thought. Borgia being out could easily been a 12-point swing there. But just talk about this team and kind of what what we thought about them today. Because I think we said West Morris has been solid. They just ran in some bad luck with some of the teams they wrestled. And Mount Olive looked like they're showing themselves. They're in that class with everything they do.
Oh, 100%. I know West Morris is definitely a team that's going to be, they're going to be taking their lumps a little bit against these teams, team-wise. But they're going to learn from all their individuals, and this only helps them to get better down the road. So I really think they're going to be, they're going to improve down the road for sure. And, even losing to Mount Olive today.
Sorry, I'm getting bribed with food by the Stat Girls.
But definitely nothing for them to hang their heads over. I mean, they've wrestled some tough teams. They're going to get
I got to duck down so my wife doesn't see me eat the brownie and yell at me for eating without her. I didn't eat a brownie, babe. It wasn't me. But listen, we had a great time so far this year with all the coverage we did. I'm letting Jared, my podcasting legend, take the week off next week. He's earned it. He's going to be wasting some money on a cruise somewhere. We're going to be so we're not going to have any coverage. We're going to have a podcast and everything. I'll be doing some live tweeting and, the schedules and stuff like that. But we'll be back the following week. We got a big schedule up the second week of January. So stay tuned to the site for Jared, the podcasting legend, James Clarke, Sam, the new camera person, John, whatever his name's up there with the long shot. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank you so much. We will see you in 2024.